And this was something else you were interested in, The Rock on TKO board. The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, has been named to the board of TKO directors, so not just WWE, but UFC as well. As part of his deal, he gets $30 million of stock, paid in 4 increments, plus he now owns outright the trademark of The Rock. Formerly, WWE would receive a cut of any deal that Dwayne made that would feature like the Rock logo or the Rock name. And Dwayne also, because he was doing the rounds, also got himself a spiffy pair of spectacles as well with it.
Yes. Well, I think The Rock can thank his father for the name, Vince McMahon for the exposure. Do you know much about Rock, how he grew up?
I wrote a book on him.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Well, he was broker in hell. Broke. Did he talk about living at the Days Inn in Nashville?
Yep.
He lived right down the hall from me. We both lived there. That could also be, that was Wrestler Skid Row. but he came from very humble beginnings, and finally Vince McMahon found him, and he made him what he is, him and Mick Foley, and got him started, got him exposed, and he ended up like he is today.
What do you think? What do you think The Rock's going to bring to the TKO board? Because is he still part of XFL? Because I know the XFL merged with the USFL or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's the XFL now. Yeah, their season starts like a week after the Super Bowl. See, I had a thought one time. I said, what if they had right after the Super Bowl, and you have fans, football fans, college football fans, that are just, fanatical with football. And after the Super Bowl ends, now it's like, wait a minute, they don't have their drug anymore. What are they going to do? And that's what the XFL is going to pick up.
It's the UFL, apparently. It's the United Football League.
Okay, well, whatever it is. Yeah. So I thought they would use X because that's a popular letter now. And I think he picked up, they had another league, I think that may have been the XFL, that went bankrupt a couple of years ago. So I think they're picking up on that. But now the football fanatics now have something to watch. Now they'll watch football. I don't care if it could be even bad football. They're still going to watch it. But I did watch a few of those. And where did this start? I always say one time, well, it had to start with wrestling. This other league started basically with Vince McMahon. He started like 20 or 30 years ago. It lasted about, 1 year or maybe no more. But he put the thought out there, and now we're seeing where it's leading. So, and it's sometimes it's pretty good football. They have pretty good games. They have different rules too. You know, one of the rules I like, if you don't follow football, you don't understand. See, you can, after you score a touchdown, you get an extra point. You got to go for it.
Yeah.
You can go for it. But now you can go for 1 point, 2 points, or 3 points. The farther back you go. So no game is really out of reach if it's kind of within 10 points. You know, you could say if it was 8 points, well, you could score a touchdown, go for 2 and get it tied up. Or if you were 3 points back, you could get 9 points back, get a touchdown, go for 3, make it, and it'd be tied up, which makes the game more exciting. Plus, I think they kick off from the 20-yard line instead of the 40-yard line or 35 or whatever, which makes a big difference because most of the kicks in the NFL go in the end zone anyway. So you really don't have a run back. And I read, that's where most of your injuries are, on those kickoffs, those blindside blocks and everybody running willy-nilly and all kind of different directions. So you get a lot of injuries that way. So, and kickoffs are boring to me. They're just boring. I like a wide open offensive game. defense, I don't give a crap. Just give me the offense, because that's what people they like, offense, and they do put up some big scores. They put up the 50s and 60 points sometimes.
To bring back The Rock into this, I'm just looking at his filmography. There's one film called Red One that's already in post-production, so he's already filmed it. But apart from that, he's not really announced for anything else. So he's the sort of head of Seven Bucks Productions. He's now on the TKO board. I think he's involved with this new UFL. So he's more or less going behind the scenes, apart from if he's going to be at WrestleMania or not, because it's still not confirmed if he's going to be at WrestleMania. And it's also been said, although very doubtful, quite frankly, if he's going to have his last match at WrestleMania or maybe Saudi Arabia. I mean, how much money does he need to go there?
Yeah, how much does he need? I mean, but they would pay it. I think we're going to see him at WrestleMania, especially now that he's on the TKO board, and TKO owns half. They're half owners of the WWE. Yeah, I think it would benefit him. Plus, it would help his position. Not that he needs any help, but I think he's a valued addition to that board. And if he was in the main event, I mean, like you said, how much money do you need? So he could quit tomorrow and not miss a step. He's going to live the same. His life will be the same, except he's not getting full value out of his name. Which, if he headlined WrestleMania, that's an honor. It really is. Mm-hmm. And who would have thought when they started WrestleMania? They just called it WrestleMania. They didn't call it one. They called WrestleMania 2 because it followed one.
It was like World War I. They called it the Great War then a second one happened.
Yeah. And they called it the Second Great War. But
it's an old Ricky Gervais joke. It's like, they called World War I the Great War. It was good. Not sure about if it was great or not.
But 40 WrestleManias, and I've been on 4 of them. So I was on 10 and 11, and I think...
No, you're on 11. You weren't on 12.
I was there, though.
You were there,
I could have been on 12. I could have... Well, I wasn't on 12, but I was there. Where was 12?
Anaheim.
I was there. I wasn't on it, but I was there. So, might as well. I got paid for it.
There's
guess what I got paid?
For not even turning up. 4,000.
Yeah, a little more than that. But that was not bad to show up. They give you, they just give you $5,000 just to show up and sit in catering. That's quite a payday, I would think.
That's what TNA used to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I didn't get $5,000 there,
no.
Though. I just got some crappy food. But anyway, I was on 11 and 12, you said?
No,
I think
you're on
29
11.
And 30.
Yeah.
29 and 30.
As a fun aside, Ava Raine, or just Ava now, The Rock's daughter, they've come up with now that Dwayne The Rock Johnson is now on the board of TKO. I don't know if this is like an in-joke, but they've made Ava the GM of NXT. That nepotism at work there, Dutch. Straight off the bat.
Do you think WWE engages in nepotism?
I imagine it's happened a time or two.
A time or two, oh yeah.
But I like the idea that it's just another way to keep Ava out of the ring. So they just keep giving her like speaking roles, and now they've made her a GM so she didn't have to wrestle.
Okay, I've never heard her speak. Have you?
It's fine.
Oh, it's okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay.
Well, I've seen her. She has quite a way to go. But you got to think, here's her dad. I mean, she grew up totally different than what The Rock did. She's never wanted for money, cars, or anything. Whereas Rock growing up, hell, he may have wanted for a Baby Ruth candy bar. That's how broke he was. You know downtown Bruno, right?
Mhm.
You know the story about that?
Yeah.
The Rock needed a place to stay in Nashville, and downtown Bruno, he didn't have a pot to pee in either. And he said, "Hey, come stay at my place." And you can imagine what kind of place it would be if you don't have much money. But he gave the Rock a place to stay, and Rock never forgot it. He always remembered Bruno, and he was in Nashville one day, and he looked up Bruno, and he was talking to him, and they did a video on this. And he gifted Bruno, which I'm trying to get him for a guest on the show to talk about it.
I know, but you want me to stay up really late because he's got a real job.
Oh, yeah, he does have a real job.
Hmm.
And what he's talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is for James right now, for me, it's like 10 o'clock in the morning. James, what time is it for you?
Well, it's 10:15 for you. It's 3:15 for me. PM.
Yeah, in the afternoon.
So we'd have to start at like midnight my time.
Yeah, Bruno, he has a regular job. And I said, well, you have to start early in the morning. How early? I went out about 10 o'clock. Hey, man, I'd love to do the show, but I got this job I got to do. So, and Bruno probably has the first dollar he ever made. Because when you don't make any money, a dollar means something. So he's hung on to quite a bit of that. But, and I'm like I said, I'm trying to get him as a guest on the podcast, and love to have him because he has some great stories. So if we advertise him, ladies and gentlemen, it's almost, you can't miss Downtown Bruno on the podcast because he is a talking son of a gun. You won't get bored by talking to him. Let me say that. Mm. But anyway, I like the Rock gave him a truck. Said I never forgot. So, and he didn't. And Rock didn't have to do that, of course. And it's like a $50,000 truck, and he still got it.